All right. Let me go ahead and give you. We already rolled for the question. We haven't answered it yet. So let me give you the question mix so you can think about it since everyone else has been thinking about it for a bit. The question is using only 4 words, how would you describe your outlook on life? So we'll let you think about that and have the others go since they were here thinking already. Anyone want to spout off first?
I will.
Okay.
No guts, no story.
Ooh. I like it. Catchy.
Blossom has an answer.
Okay.
Cruel curiosity kill you.
I like it. I like it. Good, good.
Good use of alliteration.
Indeed.
I guess I can go next.
Okay.
Zyara's is trust you, question everything.
Ooh. I like this question. This is a good question. Yes, hello, pumpkin. You have a nice butt. Please get out of my face. Shoo. All right, Boo. We'll give you a second, Boo.
Vacuum.
Oh, yeah. Have you come up with anything yet, Mix, since we're waiting on Boo's vacuum to die out?
What was the question?
Sure, I'll read it again. Using only 4 words, how would you describe your outlook on life?
Pissed off, vengeful.
Say that again?
Pissed off, get.
Still like cut out part. I got like pissed is the only word I got.
Pissed, vengeful, get. What get means bastard.
I still missed it.
I think he's saying pissed off, vengeful get.
Is that right? Okay. Pissed off, vengeful, get. Perfect. All right. Vacuum's still running over there, Boo.
Nope. I've been ready. Just had to wait for that.
Fire away.
Still figuring shit out.
That's good. That's really good.
This is good. That is a really good. Like, it's tricky, but it's a good question. That's good stuff. Good list. All right. Well, it's been a little bit since we had the holidays and all. Does anyone want to do a quick run through of the shenanigans y'all got into last time on Dragon Ball Z?
Last time on Dungeons and Dragons, we had gotten the information from the kids, the little tiefling boy and whatnot, and we went into the sewers where a mind flayer took Boo over, and then we kind of killed everybody and got our little buddy.
I got the derp.
Yeah. And yeah, that's right. That's right. Jinku is kind of jacked up, but that's okay because when we got back to I think we went to the yawning portal, right, to find Volo again.
Yeah, you did. You found Volo at the yawning portal.
Okay, and then he had talked to us. He told us we can go to the Temple of Seldarine, and they'll fix Jinku in the morning. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless we want just a dumb elephant. I mean, do we have to tell her this? It's a
I'm
pest.
already dumb. Don't make it worse.
I know. Now you can be dumb
No.
and stupid.
I was dumb, like really dumb before this.
Jinku's at send to the farm stage.
And I don't want to go.
But the farm
Okay,
has
so-
animals.
Yeah, that being said, but Boo is probably not all that interested in taking a pliable mind to get fixed. So, but that's where we're at there. And then in exchange, Volo didn't have any money, but he did have the deed to a property, Trollskull Manor, which I think we left off in the portal basically after we had gotten that and whatnot, and we hadn't really done anything else. I think that's where we left.
That is where we left off. Yep. So yeah, he just gave you this deed. It still needs to be notarized by a magistrate because you guys need to go check it out and make sure that it's up to what you want. And but aside from that, yeah, it's still the evening. I assume you guys probably take a rest if you guys are wanting to, because it's about, it's probably about like 9 or 10 at night right now, where we left off last time. But yeah, you guys are in the yawning portal. So you guys gonna take a rest for the night at the yawning portal for now?
Well, I mean, I don't know what everyone else's state is, but it might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, if I remember right, I don't think anyone's really hurt aside from brain hurt. But I mean, might as well take a sleep if you
Yeah,
want.
I'm like slightly wounded, but mostly just dumb.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, and oop. Cat. Stop. Get out of the way. Please and thank you. Durnan is more than happy to let you guys have some rooms for the assistance you gave the other day with the troll. So if you're wanting to chill out here for tonight, that is perfectly fine.
I expected nothing less. You know what?
All right, so you guys take a rest here at the yawning portal. Have some nice sleep. They're comfy beds. It's well-known, well-traveled inn, so they know how to take good care of their customers here. And you wake up in the morning here in Waterdeep, and the morning patrons who come around here in the morning are kind of filtering in as you guys head downstairs, and Durnan's behind the bar, polishing a mug and dishing out food and drinks to those coming up and inquiring. What do you guys get up to? Oh, let me share this map with you. So where you guys, whoever divided this map up made the unfortunate decision to divide, like where it cut is literally through the yawning portal.
Of course.
And so on this map, on the very eastern side, you should be able to see a pin that I shared, which is the yawning portal, which spans onto the map next door. Let me know if you don't see a green pin on the very eastern side of the map, partway down.
Southeast, it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of a little southeast of the big castle structure. There's a green pin. That's the yawning portal where you guys are at. Just to show you where some stuff is, I'll share this to you as well. If you go up to the north on this same map, you should now see a green pin in a larger building in the castle ward just north of the Hawkman, which is the Temple of the Seldurine, which Volo had mentioned to you the night before as a place to head with Jinku. And then Trollskull is up in the north ward, which is another map, and I'll bring that up if you guys want to go over that way. But that's kind of on the northeastern side of Waterdeep if you go that way, that direction. Ow, ow, cat.
I like it.
Well, I say we get Jinku to where she's halfway useful, and then we get this thing notarized and go check out our new digs.
Probably we should eat breakfast first. I'm hungry.
Durnan is more than happy to provide you with his delicious breakfast. He has... His particular specialty is he has these delicious flapjacks, these little stacks of them, that he has a recipe that he's perfected over God knows how long. It's hard to guess. It's hard to tell. But he knows how to make them. He's clearly been out on the road a lot in his life and making these in little pans all over the countryside. And he knows his stuff, and they are delicious.
Just like a sourdough he found in the portal when he was down there or something.
It might be.
There you go.
He's not going to tell you his recipe.
Well, okay, I want some of these flapjacks.
All right. Yeah, Turn is more than happy to dish out some flapjacks for y'all.
These are good flapjacks, guys. I guess I have to take my beak off to eat. So I put it on backwards, and then I shoveled it really fast.
Jinku is eating these with her hands, just like shoveling them in.
All right. All right, so you guys clean up breakfast, full and happy and ready to head out for whatever you need to do today. Where do you guys head off to first?
Yes, we could head in the direction of Trollskull Manor. So you said we needed to. Somebody told us we needed to inspect the property before we go to the magistrate, or we go to the magistrate first.
So Volo had told you that you'll want to, go and see the property, and if it's, something that you want to take, then you would head to the magistrate and get this deed that he's given to you notarized, so you can officially take ownership of this manor. So
Let's go see this place.
All right.
Should we fix Jinku first? It should be on the way, I believe.
Let me get that map up here too for you guys, so you can kind of see. Let's see, where is that one? That's the northeast. Okay, share this here. Okay, so this is the northeast part of Waterdeep. The way that they divided this massive map of Waterdeep up is it has 6 pieces. There's northwest, northeast, west, east, southwest, southeast. So the previous map with the yawning portal and the castle ward, that was the west chunk. And you're now looking at the northeast chunk, so the upper right-hand corner. So these two parts of the city are kitty-corner to each other.
Could you share all of them with us? Do you have them all shared?
Yeah, I can share them all. And you can piece them together. Here, let me see. That's northeast, that's west.
So yeah, if we're in the west, then we should probably go to the temple first.
Here is east. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming your way. East. Northwest.
Do you have them in a folder?
You can put them in a folder? I just have them all in, that's all in like the images and maps section. I don't know if there was a folder that they're in.
Alright, cool. I was just seeing where to filter down just to see them. I figured we probably had a map or something by this point, and I kind of wanted to just piece, or at least be able to kind of piece it together how I would get to a place.
Yeah, for sure. And where's the last one? South. West. Okay, that's all 6 quadrants.
Thank you.
So you may want to size them down and kind of scoot them around and see what you can do there. But yes, so yeah, you guys were... The Yawning Portal is on the crease between the west and east maps. And then northeast is the one... Oh, let me share Trollskull Alley's pin so you can see where the fuck that's at. Unless I already did. Let me see.
And if you drag those down to little numbered things at the bottom, you don't have to share them every time.
Yes! That is a good
You
point.
can also find them by going to the maps button too.
Let me put those in my hotbar.
That takes too long.
So northwest, north, east. Drag these around. Oops. Waterdeep northeast, west, east, southwest, southeast. Okay, now I have them all in my hotbar. That makes it... Forgot about that. That's super nice.
Okay, cool. I see Trollskull there. Yeah, I agree with Blossom here. Let's head there, but I guess we should stop by this temple and get Jinku healed up along the...
Yeah, it is kind of on the way now that I put them all pieces together. So that goes there. That goes there. Solmore Street is that one.
It looks like we'll be able to pass through the market on the way. I've heard about Waterdeep's market there.
Yes, that is on the way, the big central market.
To perhaps peruse the place for just a moment.
All right. So you all make your way out of the Yawning Portal here. And let me switch this over here.
I'm leading the idiot. Come on, Jinku. Okay, Wallace.
Hey, quick, do you want to switch Sirenscape to just kind of like general city ambience now? That would be super. There we go. So, as you guys are, heading north out of the Yawning Portal, you can see, up to your west as you guys kind of head up the streets here, the kind of towering stronghold of Castle Waterdeep that kind of sits here centrally located in the city at the base of this mountain. These pennants and banners hanging all over the battlements. And, it's very, old and beautiful, thick-walled stronghold here at the center of this great city. And you guys continue north, kind of crossing over Waterdeep Way, and you head up the Street of the Sword and pass under the Hawkman, which is one of the 8 enormous statues that tower over various parts of Waterdeep, the walking statues. You'll see a few of them on your map as you poke around. They're the ones with the big stars. These 8 statues. According to legend, from what you recall or for hearing in stories, is that these great statues defend the city in times of great peril, but it has been quite some time since anything has happened to cause these to awake. This particular statue looks kind of like a winged, hawk-headed being, and so it's termed by the locals the Hawkman, and it towers high above the block that it's on. And you guys head up a little further, and you find yourself at this pretty decently sized temple, kind of jutting up from the middle of this block with various houses and structures and businesses all around it. You kind of head in through an alleyway of sorts between some of the buildings to this kind of central area. It's got some lovely trees around it, some beautiful flowers. And as you step into this temple, does somebody want to roll a religion check for me? Were you rolling one, Zyra? Oh, yeah, there we go. I see it. Or boo. There we go. 18. Okay. So as you are stepping into this temple, you kind of look around, and in the various little, naves around the edge of this kind of central, cathedral worship area, you see in, each nave is, a different kind of elven-related god. This seems to be a temple that's just kind of a all of elven-related god worship. They have, little statues and offering locations for a wide variety of them for any of the elven god worshippers here in the city. As you guys kind of stand there in the middle, after walking through the door here, a patron or a matron of the temple kind of walks over and pipes up as she nears you guys. What brings you to the Temple of Seldarine this day? Are you looking for a particular god to worship, or do you have other business?
Someone said we could fix
next-
here. But I'll point at Jinku.
Ah, yes. We had a letter arrive this morning from Volo. He mentioned that some friends of his were coming by and needed a little assistance. So, this is the one that needs a little fixing, is it? She kind of looks up at Jinku.
Just have a goofy grin on my face and wave at her.
All right. All right. Well, we will get your friend restored to her normal state here in a moment. Come with me. And she kind of takes your hand, Jinku, and kind of leads you across this central area of this beautiful temple. Like a lot of the kind of finery and the carving of this temple is very ornate, and lots of swirls and things that look like vines and branches all kind of interwoven in the various stonework. It's quite intricate. But she takes you back to a room, somewhat off to the side of the temple, and has Jinku sit down in a chair in the middle here. And she leaves for a moment and comes back in with a few other of the matrons of the temple, all in various kind of fine religious garb. And they all kind of come around Jinku here and kind of raise their arms around her and say a few words. And you all see this kind of a bright kind of yellowish glow that seems to kind of emanate around these matrons of this temple. And Jinku, you feel a little more like you feel like yourself again. Still a little happy coming out of it. It may take a moment to kind of get back into your own head, but you feel that you're basically back to normal. Your intellect has returned to whatever level it was at before. You're no longer at 0.
Yay!
So what are you doing as you're coming out of this, Jinku? You come out of this, you've come out kind of from a stupor, and you find yourself sitting here surrounded by these various religious garbed beings with this kind of glow fading away. Well, what are you thinking?
Um, what the? Hi, nice to see you. Who are all of you?
The one of the matrons kind of smiles and looks at the ones next to her. Well, seems she is in much better order than she was a moment ago. And they lower their arms and kind of bow gracefully and would make their way back out of the room to kind of give you a moment here with your friends and go back to attend to some of the other patrons that are outside in the hall. So you guys are now alone here in this kind of side room of the Seldrine Temple. Jinku's back to normal.
Well, that was a lot of potential lost, Janku, but welcome back to being functional, I guess.
Thanks.
Don't thank me, I didn't bring it up. And I'll point to, I think Mix brought it up.
Well, whoever, thanks.
Just sit on Mix for me.
I'm not gonna sit on anybody right now. Maybe later.
Alright. Well, shall we go check out this property that Volo has given us, this Trollskull Manor? Perhaps there's a troll skull there. That would be pretty cool.
If there isn't, you know where to probably find one.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. We do.
All right. So do you guys just continue making your way north, kind of up towards the market then, as you guys are making your way over to Trollskull? All right. So you all continue up the Street of the Sword. This is one of the, this Castle Ward area. Most of the main streets are quite wide and bustling with people as the morning goes on, and various little carts and things parked in little groups all over the place, selling various wares and foodstuffs. As you continue going north, you see another of these towering great statues of Waterdeep, the Great Drunkard. This particular one, while it does still tower, seems to be sitting and almost in kind of an asleep, unconscious type pose, and it seems to be very fitting that at the base of this particular statue is a tavern, befitting the name, the Great Drunkard. Looks like a big passed out dude sitting above the city here. And as you cross the bazaar street here, you make your way to the market, which is the largest open space in the city, aside from, the mountain, of course. And this market area, all of these buildings around the edge here are stone buildings, very well built and very well maintained. And in the inside of these stone buildings, which seem to house more long-term businesses and shops and restaurants and the like, this whole open central area is just packed with a maze of temporary stalls, carts, little tents, all sorts of different vendors from all over the realm that come here to sell their wares. And incredibly bustling in here. I mean, there's still quite a bit of space between the larger groupings of the various carts and things, but there's so many people milling about and buying various wares that you kind of have to jostle a little bit as you're getting through the crowd here, pressing through this market. Are you guys doing anything particular here, or are you guys just kind of continuing on your way through over to Trollskull?
I need a pipe.
You need a pipe? Okay. So, as you are kind of making your way through this maze of these various peddlers, you do happen to glance. It's a little bit difficult for you, Boo, as you're going through here, just because there's so many people, and being able to see what's going on it's somewhat tricky at times. You can almost, for the most part, a lot of times all you can really see is whatever happens to be the stall right next to you as you're passing by, because you just can't see through the legs of all the people next to you to the other side, and you aren't tall enough to see some of the things that, if they don't stick up a bit or have a sign that kind of is far enough above people's heads. But you do, as you're walking along, kind of casting your eyes about, you do come across a peddler that has a little kind of box laid out that seems to have a few various carved pipes and different kind of smoking related paraphernalia. Some of them, carved out of wood, others carved out of what appears to be bone, some other materials. All of them seem to be quite beautifully put together. Various kind of animal heads, or maybe a couple with faces of notable people, things like that.
Okay. I will, I'll pick one of them out.
Okay. All right. Is there a particular design that you're thinking of?
No, I pick one at random.
Pick one at random. Okay. Roll a d8 for me. 7. All right. Let's see here. All right, so this particular pipe that you've picked up here has it's kind of a long. It's more of a straight pipe than a curved pipe. So it comes out from the tip straight, and the shaft of the pipe has this kind of spiraling tooling around the entire shaft all the way down to the bowl. And the bowl of the pipe at the end has these little. It has like a dragon on the underside, and its wings kind of flare up on either side of the bowl, almost kind of wrapping around the top a little bit. And its head kind of peeks out from the front of the bowl. So it's kind of like holding the bowl of the pipe on its back with its wings spread above it, like so.
How much does this vendor want for this?
For this pipe, he sees that you've picked this up here, and he goes, "Ah, yes, that is a lovely specimen. I brought that one down from a carver up in the Icewind Dale. This one's carved out of supposedly out of the bone of a frost giant that they killed up there at some point." And he says that he'll want. I'll give that one to you for 1 gold.
Okay. That's reasonable.
All right. So you complete this transaction here.
Does he have tobacco and stuff?
Oh yeah, he has some tobacco. He has, some tobacco and other things for a few coppers and things. He can get a little pouch of tobacco if you want.
I'll give him like 5 silver and buy some tobaccos and stuff.
And stuff. All right. Here, I'll. Oops.
That's all I needed in the market.
Okay. All right. Anybody else doing anything in the market at all?
Nope.
None of you guys want to go shopping? What is wrong with you? We are in one of the greatest cities along the Sword Coast, in one of the oldest markets that is still manned, and you lot just walk around like it's nothing.
I want to go see this house.
Fine, let's go see this house, Blossom. Let's go then. And I'm stomping off now.
I live here. There's nothing I haven't seen.
There's your pipe.
I dig it.
It's a nice little thing. All right. So, you guys continue to make your way. You head northeast out of the market here and start kind of heading along the Trader's Way towards the east. Come on. I put these maps into my hotbar and there we go. Now they're popping up. All right. So as you make your way east and kind of make your way out of the Castle Ward and over into the North Ward, the state... Oh, hey, Swive, here, I'll bring that picture up again for the pipe. Quick, got a pipe. I'll show you the picture. There we go. Got this fancy thing. It's got a little dragon on the underside of the bowl. As you step into as you kind of cross over into the North Ward, the kind of design and stateliness of the buildings kind of change a bit. As you're walking along, you keep passing by what appear to be various like villas, kind of large, kind of gated estates. There's still various other buildings and smaller houses among all these as well. Filling up as much space as they can here in Waterdeep. But every once in a while you'll pass like an ornate gate and see kind of a open area with trees and other things behind it and a large house. And you eventually make your way to up Delzarin Street and up Windborne Way and then across over to Saradoon Street. And you're coming along these various houses. You pass by a let's see, where is that? Yep. You pass by a few different businesses as you're coming up the road right outside of Trollskull. You see a bookshop. You see what appears to be some kind of private investigators type shop. A somewhat rundown looking little tavern. A few other kind of buildings or houses that don't seem to have any particular businesses in them. But at last, as you come to the intersection of Saradoon Street and Thunderstaff Way, your eyes immediately fall upon the largest building in this little chunk of this alley. It sticks out from among the rest, partly because its 4-story stature makes it loom over the other structures, but mostly because of its state, compared to a lot of the other buildings around here that seem to be actively lived in businesses. This one seems a little bit run down, like it hasn't been used in quite some time. But despite that, it's an old and elegant building. It's from a different era than a lot of the other structures that are around it. The roof is the color of a bright green. Some of the missing shingles expose, the brown wood beneath. And its form hints at this proud posture of the old architecture that it was built with. But time has curved its spine a bit and made it humble. There's bricks scattered around from a chimney that abruptly ends. It kind of points to the sky like a jagged tooth. And the few windows that haven't been boarded up look to be broken. Most of the upper ones seem okay. They still have boards, but some of the lower ones appear to be broken. There's 2 balconies that run around the perimeter of the manor on the 2nd and 3rd levels that hang on. In places, the railing is missing, but they still are intact. And the main part of the building that gives you confidence is the base level. Its foundation on the 1st floor is made of strong masonry that seems to have held up well, and its bones, the bones of this building, look really good. Looking at it and recognizing the state of its disrepair and the fact that it's somehow still standing, you get the feeling that it could either be knocked over by a stiff wind or it could survive the next cataclysm. You're not quite sure, but it could go either way. Now let me pull up a picture of it for you here so you have a visual. That's not it. That's not it. Where the hell is it? I know there is a picture of it.
Man, this place, guys. Well, at least the bottom floor looks maybe serviceable for now.
Here we go.
It is a better home than I've ever had.
Trollskull Alley.
It's got good bones.
And I'll also share with you here, this is going to be a map of the alley that it's on. 'Cause this is Trollskull Manor, and the alley that's between this particular block is Trollskull Alley. And let me give you the pin for which one is Trollskull.
I think it has great.
Oh, wait, I can't share that pin. I have to fix this map so I can put the right pin in it. Trollskull Manor is, if you look at the Trollskull Alley map, right in the middle where the road comes in from the north, there's the building on the right side with the tower on it. It's just north of what looks like a greenhouse. That one on the corner there is Trollskull Alley. It's right in the middle of the block. Or Trollskull Manor. It's right in the middle of the block.
I see it. Okay, I had to move the map side. I pat Mix on the back and I say, well, we thought you had potential too, and let's go see what this place contains for us.
All right. So you walk up to the front door of this place. You can see a... crap, where did I put that?
You know, but I'm starting to agree. Maybe we shouldn't have fixed Jinku right off the bat. We could have had her go bounce on those balconies and on the stairs to see what happened.
Who says I won't do that?
Perhaps she's pliable yet.
All right, let me show you a map here of the first floor. I gotta resize this. So as you guys step up to the main front door of this place, you can see that it's slightly ajar. There appears to be... It appears there used to be a chain that held the front door of the place shut, but it appears to have rusted away in quite a few of the links, making it fairly easier to be broken. But but the door is slightly ajar, and you can hear what appears to be some kind of joyful laughter and kind of some kind of wooden-sounding clanks coming from within as you guys step up to the front door. Oh, let me put your guys'...
Shall we see who's at our new home?
Yeah,
Yes,
even though I've
we have
been
visitors.
distasteful of it, I'm immediately intrigued. Just, shall we find us these trespassers? So you want to set the scale?
Oh, I forgot to set the scale on this. That's
set the
right.
grid. You'll have to delete Blossom. You could do that before or after, but set the grid and then that'll work for you. But
That's right. That's right. Layers. Grid. I forgot to do this part. Yep. Layers. Set. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Layers. Set grid. There we go. Alright, so you guys... I think that grid might still be a little too large, but we'll worry about it later.
you can reset it, like even if you drop the tokens, because they'll drop at 80% size. So if you adjust the grid a little bit, it doesn't really mess things up too.
Well, let's see. Right now, let's see if that's 5. So 5, 10, 15, 25. Okay, no, that grid, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. It just seems really large compared to a lot of the other stuff we've been in, but it's a smaller area, so that makes sense. Anyways, so you guys kind of push through the front door here of Trollskull, and you see, kind of cavorting around in the middle here, in front of the bar, are the 3 children that you recognize from the other night. One of them, the rotund boy, is kind of sitting on one of the old stools for the bar, and the girl and the tiefling boy are both kind of running around with their little wooden sword and their little stick wand, and kind of play fighting with each other and laughing and kind of running around in the various chairs and tables and various states that are around the old tap room at the moment. As you guys are stepping in through the door, the rotund boy over sitting on the stool, he's kind of like leaning forward, watching his friends with his hands kind of gripping the stool between his legs, and he kind of rotates in the stool a little bit, and says he sees you guys come in, and says, "Oh, visitors. I recognize you." And he kind of like rocks back and forth a little bit on the stool, kind of wondering what you guys are going to do to them. The other 2, they've stopped playing. Like they're kind of both holding their little wooden swords by their side, and they both are surprised to see you, considering they happen to have run into you just the other day. And they also kind of look a little sad. It seems like they liked to come and play here, and they're wondering if that's not going to be the case anymore.
Do you live here?
The little tiefling boy that had gotten you a 3-card Monte the other day, speaks up and says, "Oh, no, we don't live here. We just like to come play here. It's nice and quiet and nobody bothers us. So sometimes we just like to come here in the quiet."
Squidly, right?
He kind of looks surprised that you happen to remember his name. Yeah, that's me.
I turn and look at the rest of you guys. Well,
Do you guys
I'll look at
own this
Booth
place?
and smile. And I look at the children and go, "Oh, well, yes, we just got it for completing a job as payment. do you know of all the little rooms and nooks and crannies in this place? Maybe you could show us around our new home. And I
Oh,
hold up 3 coppers.
at this, they all kind of like the rotund boy on the stool kind of quickly jumps off the stool onto the ground and makes his way toward you, and the other two head your direction, and they all kind of jump up and down. Yeah, 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 yeah. We'll help. We'll help.
I toss them each a copper. Show us around.
All right. So in here, I mean, as you stepped into this first room, this main tap room area of the first floor, there's kind of a scent to this room. It's kind of a sour beer scent. You can see there's like a few maybe old casks against the back wall, and perhaps they likely have long since soured. So there's kind of that brewery funk in the air that's been being funky for God knows how long. There's a few tables around in here. Most of them are pretty dusty. A couple of them are broken. There's a few chairs, some of them together, some of them in pieces. There's an old dusty hearth at the northern end of the tap room that's fairly busted up. A lot of the pieces of stone that made up like the mantle have been kind of come off and landed on the floor. There's a big L-shaped bar in the middle, of course, with the various stools around it. Most of them still seem somewhat okay. A couple of them are leaning a bit. Maybe the screws came loose on the floor. There's the hearth on the northern end. There's kind of some soot that's spilled out a little bit from the hearth onto the floor, and you can see little footprints in the soot, assumedly mice, at least from what you would guess, that have lived there. Behind the bar, there's various shelves that looked to have held the various alcohols before in the past. There's some broken glass on the ground back there from a few of the bottles. There's a few bottles that are still on the shelves, but most of them look particularly old. And there is a hatch that is padlocked on the floor behind the bar. And then a door to the pantry to the south of the bar. And there also appear to be 2 large metal hooks that hang above the bar on the back wall, but whatever happened to be there before doesn't appear to be there anymore. And that's what you see in here. And Squidly, Nat, and Jenks, they are kind of... They're more of pointing out some of the various things they would do with the stuff that's in here. Squidly is taking you over to this table in the northeast corner, and that's knocked over on its side, and he's telling you about how they, made that be a castle once, and then Nat and Jenks, they tried attacking the castle, and he was in it and shooting magic with his little stick wand, and the fun that they had with that. And most of their descriptions that they seem to be telling you are more of just about their shenanigans here so far, at least.
Can I try and pick the lock on the trapdoor?
Yeah, go ahead. That would be a...
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, sleight of hand.
Nix is gonna go and check it out.
In the pantry?
If you have a thieves kit, you can roll, if depending upon if the roll's more, and if you want, you can do the toolkit with your proficiency. Like sometimes the kits will add a bonus to pick locks. You have to look at the item. But you could do that you add your dexterity and then your proficiency bonus or something like that.
So would you just roll it with advantage or something, pretty much?
I think I'm not entirely certain how the toolkits work. I could look that up.
Well, go ahead and just roll sleight of hand with advantage for now. To roll it with advantage, if you click on the ADV button down in the bottom left, and then roll your skill check, it'll apply advantage to it.
What ADV button?
Bottom left by your dice.
Oh.
And then roll your skill check, and that should roll it with advantage. Sweet. 21. All right, so Zara, you kind of fiddle with this lock, and it's definitely showing its age. It was not too difficult for you to get that picked. And so you lift up this door in the pantry, and this appears to go down to a cellar down below the house. Mix, as you're heading south, you pass through the pantry room. This small pantry, or well, I guess not particularly small, but the smaller room that's the pantry. There's broken casks and crates against the walls. There's some sagging shelves with some ripped sacks. A couple of them look like maybe they were produce sacks at one point, but whatever produce was in them has since turned to liquid. They've been here a while. It smells pretty gross in here. Just a lot of rotten, very, very old, rotten food. You see more in like the various kind of dust and crumbs and spilled grain and things. You see more of those little mice footprints everywhere that have nibbled holes and things and taken various things of food. Mix, as you keep heading south, you find yourself in the kitchen. You see there's 2 heavy iron stoves that still seem to be pretty intact. Like there's maybe a little bit of rust around the edges, but nothing that you couldn't get off with a little bit of treatment. Otherwise seems okay. Maybe just from a little bit of water damage, because there's a broken window above them that looks to have been dripped rain every once in a while on them, which has rusted them a little bit, but nothing too serious. They still look pretty good. There's a large prep table in the center of the kitchen that's pretty dusty, and you can find little mice poops all over it. But otherwise, it seems just fine and sturdy. It's held together quite well. Cabinets that look like they once held kitchen tools are flung open and looted. The hearth in the corner, contrary to the way it looks on the map, is still perfectly fine and together. And there's a cast iron cauldron that still hangs in the middle of the fire. That also looks still perfectly fine. Just a few traces of rust that could easily be treated and fixed without any too much of an issue. Although you do find inside the cauldron there is a bird nest. Doesn't look like anything lives there right now. It looks like it's long since abandoned, but there is a bird nest in the bottom of the cauldron.
What about this barrel?
That is, like other crates and barrels you've seen around in here. It's just more kind of long since dried up or empty or broken barrels. It looks like you notice when you inspect it that the cork that was in the front of it seems to have been nibbled away by some kind of rodent, and because of this, whatever was in the barrel has long since leaked out and evaporated.
Okay, Mix is gonna walk back up to where the bottles are and find one that's still somewhat sealed and pop it open and see what kind of libations he finds in there.
All right. So as you take this bottle down from the shelf and you pop it open, you go ahead and roll a perception check for me really quick. Actually, all of you roll a perception check for me really quick as he opens this bottle. Okay. Jinku and Boo, you guys are too enamored by these kids getting told little weird stories. But Zyara, Mix, and Blossom, as Mix takes this bottle off and is uncorking it, over against one of the walls, there's like a shelf that seems to have like a few very old books that are on it, and two of the books on the shelf seem to just kind of spontaneously fall off. And one of the kids perks up as this falls off, and he kind of turns to his friend and says, "Oh, Liff's here! Hi, Liff!"
Left? Who would that be?
Oh, he's a nice ghost. He used to own this place a long time ago, and he hasn't left. He likes to hang out down here at the bar. He doesn't really give us too much trouble, but he likes to make sure that the bar is taken care of. But he's a nice ghost.
Mix, perhaps you should not drink what is in that bottle.
What's in the alcohol or what?
What's in the bottle?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're kind of sniffing at this and maybe take a little bit of a taste, this appears to have been some kind of brown ale at some point, although it's like due to its age, it is incredibly potent and very, very bitter. It seems to have long since soured, and you almost kind of like take a step back as you like, even just like a little bit of a taste that you take, it hits you hard. Just this few drops, because it's just so out of date and kind of nasty tasting. You're kind of left kind of licking your tongue a little bit, kind of flicking it out, trying to get this flavor off because it's just so kind of rank and strong.
Mix is that Boo's very distracted, so he goes, "Hey, Boo, this is delicious. Try it."
I know better than to drink a bottle from an abandoned tavern.
And I was the one with no intelligence.
Yeah.
Even I know you not to drink that.
Oh, I was hoping it was lit because that wouldn't have gone bad.
Well,
Mix is going to put it back and tell Lift, "Don't worry, Lift. We're going to get this area fixed up for you."
if that's okay with you.
As you kind of are saying this, one of the books that's on the floor kind of like shifts a little bit.
I'll look at the kids. Which one of these kids seems to be the smartest of them? 'Cause I'll be looking to that one.
From let's see here. So Squiddly is the talkative one, but Nat, the girl, seems to be the smart one. But she doesn't talk as much as Squiddly does. Squiddly is definitely the more kind of extroverted one. He's the tiefling boy. But Nat, from the few comments that she's made, as she's been telling, as Squiddly's been kind of excitedly retelling these stories to someone who actually wants to listen, it seems. She chimed in every once in a while with various comments, but she seems to be the smart one. I see it talking quick, but I don't hear anything.
Well, I don't know why. How about now?
There we go. Now I hear you.
Well, what? I don't know what the hell that is all about. I just look at the kids and ask them what they think that means. If they think he's going to give us any problems.
Nat kind of replies, No, I don't think Liff will give you any trouble if you take good care of the place. He might even help out. I don't know. We've seen him sometimes.
Have you? Tell us more about this place. It seems like you've spent some time here.
Well,
I'll pull up a chair or a stool or whatever and kind of like, I'm genuinely curious and I like these children.
so, let me see here. Let me find here.
Anyway, while he's doing, hey, what did you find there?
Who are you talking to there?
Jinku.
Oh, to Jinku. Okay.
I'm just standing by the stairs listening to Boo talk to the kids.
I thought you picked.
Nope.
You and I were really the only people that explored so far.
I will look at these books though. Is there
Oh,
any
fire.
interesting books?
From the books that were on the wall and the ones that had gotten knocked off, the ones that got knocked off from the ground are kind of cold as you pick them up. But the ink that's on them seems to have faded quite a bit. It's hard to make out what was even about, just for how much they've worn away with either water or moisture and time. I mean, they're still held together on the bindings. You feel if you kind of jostled them too hard, the bindings might break. But for the most part, a lot of it's too faded to really make anything out aside from pieces of words and letters and things.
Well, Blossoms, what do you think?
I want to go upstairs and check out the second floor.
Okay. All right. The stairs that are here, the stairs are actually outside of those stairs that are in the upper right. They come up from behind the house, so you'd need to go outside and come up around to go to the upper floors.
Have you kids ever gone upstairs?
The kids kind of look at each other a bit, and they kind of all shake their heads like, "No, the back door is locked, and so we haven't been able to get through that one."
Okay.
So as you guys are coming up these back steps here to the second floor, you see there's kind of another kind of pretty decently large ornate door like the ones that were on the front of the building, and you jiggle the door knob a bit, and it seems pretty well locked. Anybody going to try to pick it or anything?
I'll just kind of shove my shoulder into it.
Okay. Give me a strength check. Okay. So, Blossom, you and Jinku are both kind of together, are both kind of banging yourself against this door. And it's quite solid. I mean, for the age of the building and everything else, I mean, it's still, you've even seen from the inside, despite a lot of the fixtures and things being in disarray, the building itself seems quite solid and put together. It's just more of the presentation of it that appears to be worn. But things like doors and walls and the like are all quite well constructed.
I can try and pick it.
Okay.
Should I roll with the advantage again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. All right. So, Zara, you step up here with your little thieves' tools and kind of pick away at this lock. And this one takes quite a bit more effort than the one that was in the pantry, or that was just outside the pantry, did. But with your skill, you eventually manage to feel the tumblers turn, and the door opens. All right, so you open this door, the second floor. Let me get the second floor map here for y'all. Oop. All right, so the stairs you guys have come up are up in that northeast corner. And you step into...
Are the kids with us, or did they stay downstairs?
At the moment, they're still... They kind of... As you guys went out the front door to head around back, they kind of went back to playing around in the first floor, unless you decided to go get them.
I'd probably go get them.
All right.
And see if, or I would have at least invited them if they wanted to come. I figured I would have loved this shit as a kid, right?
All right. So yeah, so Boo, you head back down and kind of poke your head into the main floor, and you just let them know you guys got the door open up there.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, we got the door open. If you guys want to see what's upstairs and check this place out with us, you can come, but you gotta stay back a ways, just in case. All right. So make sure stay behind us. Don't steal anything. But if you want to come explore with us, you can come explore with us.
Okay. Squidly kind of excitedly raises his little wand stick and goes, "Yeah, let's check it out. For adventure!" And they kind of run out the front door around the back and head up towards where the rest of you guys are in the stairs. So the first big room you guys come into after opening this heavy wooden door is a large common room, and there's kind of a subtle scent of pipe smoke that kind of still lingers in this room. It's kind of seeped into the walls, and kind of alludes to a history of card playing and drinking and merriment. There's hooks and nails along the wall, which suggests that there were many paintings that used to hang here. And a frayed, kind of musty carpet is across the center of the room. And there's a few other kind of small tables and stools and things. There's another hearth on the northern wall. It seems to be connected to the same chimney as the one on the first floor as it went up. And this one is in quite good shape. Still well put together, very dusty, of course, but the bricks are all intact. Nothing knocked over or anything like that. And you see there is a door leading to the north and a door door leading to the south of this. guess I can.
Could you move our?
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that. Oh fuck, I didn't do the grid on this one yet. You guys are huge. Let's see.
Well, Blossoms, where do you think we should be poking around from here? I like what I see, so I don't know about you.
All right. Boo, Mix, Blossom, Jinku, Zara. Okay. So you guys are all
Liking all of this.
all right. So you guys checking out the north room or south room first?
North.
North. All right. So Jinku, you kind of push open this another kind of more heavy wooden door here. Takes a little bit of effort. It seems maybe some moisture made the wood expand a little bit, but you managed to push it open. This room appears to be some kind of den, or what used to be a den. There's lights that are kind of coming in from the windows in the northeast turret, or in the northwest turret corner. The smell of kind of pipe smoke is a lot stronger in this room than the common room was. There's also kind of a hint of mold as well. The floor is dotted with a few different kind of small burn marks, and there's the section under the pool table, or the billiards table, seems to kind of sag a little bit, probably from the weight of the table and moisture and whatnot. There's a drip of water kind of above the pool table that kind of slowly comes down, dripping maybe once every minute or so. It's not a very particularly fast flow. There's a doorway to the north that leads out onto one of the balconies that you can see through the window. And this is the balcony overlooking Sardune Street. And there's also a door, two doors in the southwest side that lead to other rooms. One of them also goes outside to another balcony outside. And then there's another table in the turret area with a few kind of torn and moldy playing cards kind of scattered around on a table over there.
I'll peek around in this hallway.
Okay. All right, so this hallway, there's not too much of note in this hallway. It's very long and dusty. You see more nails and things that there probably used to be a number of paintings that hung in this hallway as well. And this appears to lead to a master bedroom when you come into the door at the end of this long hall. So this master bedroom here, there's two stained glass windows on the western side that kind of hint at the former stateliness of this room. There's an old tarnished chandelier that dangles from the ceiling, and a four-poster bed sits in the southeast corner. The bed's been stripped of linens, and a kind of musty mattress and a bare frame remain. There is a small hearth on the eastern wall next to the bed. It doesn't show on this particular art of this map, but it's there. And there's some wall sconces mounted on either side, which look to have held little lanterns at some point. There's a small intact dresser that sits beside the bed, though one of its drawers is missing. The other two drawers are empty. And there is a window on the south side, which also isn't on this art for some reason, that looks out over Trollskull Alley below. And you can see when you look out this master bedroom window that across the alleyway, the building directly to the south, appears to be a lush greenhouse. The whatever upper floor of the building south of you is this kind of deep green glass, and it's just brimming with plants inside of it. Just all sorts of stuff. You can't quite make out what it is through the frosted kind of cloudy glass, but it's just packed with plant life just south of you there. So you guys make your way back around. The kids are kind of excitedly running around in this common room, kind of playing with some of the tables, sitting in some of the chairs, kind of, looking at the various things. It's a new place to explore. They're just kind of excited to be here. This hall that you walk into, this looks to have once been a dining hall. There's a large oak table that takes up quite a good bit of it. And there's also some kind of piles of dirty linens that are kind of piled over under the stairs. And the stairs are a metal framed wooden spiral staircase that lead upwards to the next floor to the west. And you see there is another door leading to the south out of this dining hall.
I leave my familiar with the kids all the time too.
Okay. What is the familiar doing with the, what are you having it do? Just kind of be
Just
there?
in case I need to cast a spell near the children.
Oh, okay, just to keep an eye on them. Okay.
Yeah, basically, probably like once in a while I'll check in. It's the baby mom.
Every once in a while when you do check in with this, you look through the familiar's eyes a time or two, and you find yourself looking very zoomed in on the face of some of the kids. They're kind of curious about this strange little blue thing. At one of the times that you look, you kind of see Squidly kind of tentatively poking it a little bit with a stick, trying to figure out what the heck it is. They seem kind of intrigued. Although sometimes from the expressions you see, they also seem a little bit kind of concerned because it is a very strange looking little creature. And they aren't quite sure what to make of it besides mostly curiosity and maybe a little bit of disgust. But it's interesting nonetheless. Jinku, as you head to the south here, this appears to be some kind of spare room. As you work open the door here, there's a few stacks of linens in one of the corner. They appear to be, a bit moldy, but they're nicely stacked though. So it seems like they were organized here and left in a corner. There's a small bed here in a corner as well. Also just has the mattress. It doesn't have a blanket and stuff like the art shows here. And there's also a door on the east that when you look out the window, you see goes to a small little balcony with ornate iron railings, like all the other railings around the building. There's also a few potted plants that are on the balcony outside this room. They are long dead. They haven't been taken care of in a long, long time. But you get a nice view of the eastern side of Trollskull Alley from this little balcony off the backside. Heading up to the third floor?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Let's go.
Third floor. Let me set the grid here first.
He's learning.
Let's see, where is the stairs? There's the stairs. Hold on, stealing your guys' tokens. Yeah.
All us kids, but stay at the back. Going upstairs.
The kids are kind of at the bottom of the stairs, kind of playing with some of the pile of linens that were kind of under the stairs. One of them kind of throws... One of them throws a sheet over itself and goes, "I'm Liff!" And kind of makes a boo noise at one of the other ones that walk through the door, giving them a little bit of a little bit of a scare. So as you guys head up to this floor, you come up this spiral staircase, and this upper hall, you can see that there are various oil lamp sconces on the walls that aren't lit, and there's some peeling kind of wallpaper with some designs on it that decorated the walls. There's also a second spiral staircase to the north you can see across the hall. There's a doorway to the east, and there's a little hallway to the southeast with 2 narrow doorways down that hall, and then 2 kind of nicer doors to the northwest and the southwest.
Okay. I'm gonna go south.
I'm gonna go south. Okay. So Zayara, you step through this door to the south. This also appears to be another nice bedroom. This is in pretty good condition. The windows are intact, and there's another 4-poster canopy bed that's, again, just down to the mattress, but seems pretty well put together. And there's another hearth on the eastern wall as well, even though it doesn't show on the map. Also well intact. There's a large dusty mirror on the northern wall. There's a door in the east of this that leads to a private bath that has a large claw-footed bathtub in it. And you can also see from the windows that look to the south, which also aren't in the art for some reason. Again, you can see this greenhouse across the alleyway. Zara, as you're looking over to the greenhouse, you see someone in there, looks to be tending to the plants. Can't really make them out very well through the glass, but you can see them over there. Mix, the little door at the end of the hall appears to open to a small lavatory. Although it seems, as you open the door here, there's kind of a rank smell that comes out. It seems there was some sort of plumbing issue at some point with this lavatory, maybe backed up or something into this room. And so it smells pretty bad when you open that lavatory door at the eastern end of the hall.
Mix is immediately going to think in his mind, oh, Boo can clean that. Yuck.
All right. Jinku, I see you're moving up in this larger room here. So this appears to be it used to be a library. There's 2 large stained glass windows on the eastern side that shine light into the numerous shelves. There's some desks kind of along the south side of this room with some old quills and shreds of parchment scattered around. There's many of the books are kind of scattered around on the floor. Most of them, again, very old or moldy or faded. You do find you're able to make out at least somewhat, Boo, as you are looking through the books for anything of note. You're able to make out one that seems to mention some of the history of this place, and many of the pages are difficult to read, but at least from what you're able to glean so far, it sounds like many, 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 many years ago. It's hard to tell how long because the words are faded. It seems there was originally an orphanage here at some point hundreds of years ago that was evidently run by a hag. And there were some somewhat unspeakable things that happened to some of the children that were in her care here at this site at some point. But eventually she was found out, and the city was able to take control of the city, or take control of the structure, and many of the children that disappeared were never found. Nobody really knows what happened to them during that time. But you see in the records here that at some point after the city had taken possession of the place, that Liff, bought and reopened this place into a quite a successful tavern. And he and his siblings, took care of his place for many, many years until he passed away. And, over time, as his siblings also passed on and, interest waned and nothing, business kind of died out. Eventually, the manor fell, or the manor, stopped being used. But it seems this was at least, you are able to make out that when Liff had bought this place, works out to be about 100 years or so ago from the present time when he was alive and ran this tavern. But so it seems to have been empty for at least 60 or 70 years, you would estimate, since it's been somewhat abandoned and forgotten. But
I'll tell all of that to the rest of the people when I find that out.
okay. All right. And let's see. There's another, Boo, I see where you're standing right now. There's another of those lavatories. Kind of just a small water closet here. Like the other one on the other end of this floor, it also appears to have had some sort of sewage issue at some point. And so it might need a little work there. You also see in the northern part where Zyara you're at, this is another bedroom, it seems, at some point. In the turret, through the door, the windows in the turret appear to show that this was once some kind of reading nook of sorts that kind of looked out over Serdun Street. There's a sturdy ladder that appears to be foldable that leads up to the upper part of this turret. One of the small windows is broken. It has like a piece in the corner that's missing, so there's kind of a cool breeze that's coming in through here. The whatever bed was in this room appears to have broken into quite a few pieces. It's not in quite as well of shape as the ones in the other bedrooms. There's another small hearth on the south wall, kind of where Jinku is standing. Again, appears to be connected to the same chimney work as some of the ones on the other floors. And a door on the eastern side goes to another private bath. The faucet that is in here is dripping, and the tub appears to have cracked at some point, perhaps from water during the winter or something freezing and messing with it. And the floor under the tub is kind of sagging a bit as you're looking at it, Zara. But there's the ladder up to the turret in the northwest, and then there's the stairs in the middle that seem to go up to the top floor.
I guess go up again.
All right. Let me do...
Did nobody go up the tower, like up the ladder to the tower?
No one has yet.
You
Good.
guys go up to the top floor. I don't care. I'm gonna see what's in this tower.
All right.
Wizards are always curious about towers, right, guys?
Let me get you guys over onto the next floor. Oops, wrong spot. And I'll share this map. Okay, let's get this positioned here. Okay. So, Boo, you are. Let's see. Where is this? So, Boo, this turret at the very top above the reading nook. There's not much light here because you're in the cone of the turret roof. The only light you have is filtering up through the floor. There appear to be, just a few kind of crates stored around out here, but otherwise it seems to be, fairly spacious and empty top of this turret here. So you could certainly make it into something. But kind of a nice dark room above the reading nook there. The rest of you in the other part of the fourth floor, Zyara and Blossom. This appears to be another bedroom. As you open the door, there's kind of a flutter of movement and some cause as a group of several ravens kind of caw and fly out through a small hole in the roof. And so there's a few kind of feathers that kind of flutter through the air as they zip out through a hole in the ceiling. The bed here, the mattress has been torn up quite a bit and seems to have been turned into a nest for these ravens. They seem to have made their home here in this old mattress. And it's kind of surrounded by various pieces of junk and trinkets that they've collected. You see kind of little baubles and little pieces of wood and maybe some small bones of various vermin and things they might have caught. But otherwise it seems to be just kind of a nest and a little collection point that these ravens have made for themselves. And Jinku and Mix, this other room in the attic appears to be a storage room. It's cluttered with kind of dusty decor. The dust is very thick up here, and it kind of catches the light from the windows on the northern side as you step through. There's a stack of paintings in the northwest corner that you can see kind of stacked up, and there's a few kind of old mounted animal heads that seem kind of tainted with mold, and some of them are kind of falling apart a little bit. There's a few kind of elk-looking heads. Oh, it's not? Oh, Coco. Hold on. Test.
Our cat unplugged his.
Oh, come on, dude. Passed all of the plugs into the tower. And it's fat butt.
He was trying to help.
Test.
Say something again.
Test.
It's not picking you up.
Oh my fucking god.
No.
You may need to leave and rejoin the channel.
Test. Test.
Yes.
Yes.
Ugh. Okay. Now that we're back from cat sabotage, where did I cut off?
You were describing the elk and bear heads.
Oh, yes. Okay. So yeah, so there's some various old heads, some stuffed or some taxidermied heads that are up here, oil lamps, and lanterns that are kind of scattered around, some musty bedrolls on the eastern side, and that seems to be most of it. This appears to be mostly a storage area.
Can I check the bird nest to see if the crows managed to collect anything valuable?
Sure, you can check it out. So you go over and kind of poke around in this raven nest that's here in the middle of this bed, and kind of sifting through the various things here, you manage to find two gold, 3 pieces of silver, and 20 pieces of copper among the other various just kind of baubles and rocks and sticks and trinkets and shiny things.
Sweet.
And I think at this point, since we've gone through the whole house, except for the cellar, this would be a good spot to take a bio break real quick. And then we'll be right back. So we'll take 10 and... Oh, okay, it's 9:50, so we'll take 10 and be back at 10 and finish this session up. So see y'all in just a sec.
Yeah, it's got some solid bones. Needs a little TLC, but it could be really great.
The question is, do we turn it into like a functioning business? Should we plan for that eventually? Perhaps an orphanage.
You can certainly turn it into a tavern if you like.
Or an orphanage?
Or an orphanage.
Or an orphanage tavern, and we run the tavern with the labor of the orphans.
Blossoms, you have solved step 3 of my 4-part plan to riches. So, yes.
God.
Sell urchin whiskey.
Jesus. All right. So, you guys have been through pretty much all of the manor.
Oh, except for this cellar.
Yep.
We should probably check out this cellar.
Yeah, let's go check out the cellar.
Okay.
Come on, kids. It's time for you to go back to the common room.
Okay. Let me get these all over there.
How old are these kids? Like, how old do they sleep? I know they're different ages, but like, what's the range, I guess?
They are all like 12 to 14, you'd guess. Like early teenagers.
Perfect for labor.
I was thinking perfect for like ponies shit, but yeah, sure.
Okay.
What's this cellar like?
Oh yeah, let me share it. So, so you go through the hatch that was in the right behind the bar. You open that up, and it goes. You see some stairs that descend down, and it's very dark and damp. Ale cellar. There's kind of a smell of acrid ale and mold. There's dozens of broken casks and barrels that line the walls in like a couple layers, and thick cobwebs everywhere. Around a bend in the southeast corner, kind of behind and under the stairs, is a bunch of different brewing supplies that sit over there, and the towards the west side. It looks like you can see like the wall kind of comes out there before it goes into the western part, and there's like a partially finished doorway area that was like in the process of being built to kind of section off the wine cellar chunk. So as you go into this, you kind of step through this kind of half finished door area. The western part of this cellar is a wine cellar, and again, more of these kind of pungent, sour smells. There's some oil lamps that like hang down from the center of the ceiling, with various wine barrels and bottles kind of lining many of the shelves in here. Many of them broken. There's kind of a puddle in the middle of the cellar that's almost a sludgy consistency of various of these like broken wines that have all kind of pooled into the middle here into kind of a sludgy, winey mess.
I'll make my familiar drink it.
It does so, but it definitely does not look particularly happy about it, but it does because it has to.
Good.
All right.
I look around the party and say, well, I think we need to find somebody who can bring a rubbish cart around for us so we can start hauling out what we can't use. And we need 5 mattresses and cleaning supplies. And we'll start cleaning this place up after we get the magistrate's stamp.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Duty.
This is a good place. It's got good potential, I think. Shall we lock it up and go see this magistrate?
Yeah.
Let's talk to the children on our way out, though.
Yeah, though we can get them to watch it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So as we come up, I'll be like, "Hey, kids. So how often do you guys hang out here?"
I mean, not all the time. I mean, we kind of hang out all over the city. But, I mean, usually if we, get tired of trying to do stuff in the street or whatever, we like to come up here and hang out. It's hard to say how often. Don't really keep track. But it's one of our more favorite places to play.
Your parents don't mind you coming and hanging out in an old, crusty building like this?
Squiddly kind of laughs at that, like, we don't have those. I don't know what happened to them. We haven't seen them in ages.
So I'll look to the group, and then I'll look to the kiddos and I'll say, "All right, I know you guys get up to funny business in the streets. I know that. But how about for at least now until we go see this magistrate and whatnot, you mind keeping an eye on this place? And it's ours. We don't mind you kind of sticking around as long as you don't cause any problems."
Yeah. We can keep an eye on it.
Now stay out of the upstairs. It's probably not safe. But if it's raining and stuff, you can stay here too.
Okay. I think Liff will be glad to have friends.
Yeah, I bet he will. We've given him a lot of money, so I'm not gonna really give him money right now.
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, let's go then. If these guys don't mind staying here and keeping an eye on the place for us, they seem pretty responsible. So let them do that. Why don't we go find this magistrate, guys?
Do we even know where
Yes.
to go?
Does this place meet everyone's approval?
I like it.
Me too.
Yes, I approve.
All right. So, if you're looking to go with this, you'll want to go find Volo, and he'll go with you to the magistrate to, oversee the deed of property transfer between him and you. As far as you know, Zara, you probably just know from being here. Most of any sort of governmental stuff is taken care of at Castle Waterdeep in the Castle Ward. So you'd probably find a magistrate there, but you'll want Volo to come along since he needs to sign the property over to you. So you guys head back to the portal to find him?
Yep.
All right. So you guys make your way out of Trollskull Manor here and start heading your way down towards the southern part of the city and make it back to the yawning portal. When you get close to it, you see Kind of sitting outside on a bench nearby. Volo's sitting there, kind of writing in a notebook. Kind of also, well, he seems to be kind of like looking at one notebook and kind of writing stuff in another notebook, working on something. He's got kind of he's at like a little bench and table that's just kind of at the side of the street nearby, just kind of working. He sees you all kind of coming up. He notices Jinku kind of sticking out as you guys walk up the street here. He says, "Oh, did you have a chance to look at Trollskull? What do you think?"
We think it looks quite wonderful.
Fantastic. I am glad to hear that it meets your standards. And so he kind of points his hand towards the west of the street and says, "Well, let us make our way up to the castle before their operations close and get this all squared away." And he kind of picks up his notebooks and stuffs them into a few little sacks that he has with him here, stands up, and starts making his way up the street to the west towards the castle.
Okay. While we're walking, I just casually ask him, so when did you acquire the property?
Well, I acquired it about a month or two ago. After the success of my previous book, I was interested in looking more into spirits and hauntings, and I had heard rumor that there was a ghost that frequented this place, and so I bought it. It seemed like an interesting property and wanted to do some research for another book, and I could never seem to get anything to happen, so I wasn't quite sure what I thought of that. And so I decided to move on to other ventures. I'm not quite sure if I'll return to that project in the future, but since it doesn't seem to have quite panned out for me, I figured it might as well work as some kind of payment for you all for your assistance.
Yes.
All right. So you make it up. You approach the castle here and make your way up the kind of winding path that leads up into the main portion of it. And Volo, kind of heads directly for one of the towers on the southwest, or one of the structures on the southwest side. He seems to know where he's going. And you find yourself in a kind of governmental office of Waterdeep. Various desks are around and various government officials working on paperwork. And Volo walks up to a kind of slender man sitting at a desk. And, he turns around and looks at the rest of you here and says, You brought the deed, right? I assume you still have it with you.
Who has the deed?
You did.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the deed right here. I completely forgot I had the deed, and so I dig through my pockets and find it, and then give it to somebody.
Okay. So you hand it across the desk to the magistrate here, and he looks it over, and looks up at Volo, and he says, "Did your project not work out for you like you thought?" Volo kind of shakes his head. No, but I think these friends of mine will take good care of the place, so I'm entrusting it to their care. And he, kind of fills out a form here real quick, and the magistrate takes out a big old stamp out of his desk and stamps the deed and hands it back to you, Boo, and says, "Well, you're a proud part of the history of Waterdeep now. Take good care of the manor. It's seen a lot in its years. I trust you'll do well with it." And you get Oh, that is huge.
Holy crap.
Can it's got to be done. That's what she said.
You're welcome, Jack.
He was there. I
Quick
had to
tried
so hard to resist, and it didn't work.
There we go. Yeah, resize that down. And you have this lovely deed of ownership. Let it be recognized that the bearer of this indentment is the rightful owner of Trollskull Manor in the city of Waterdeep, and thusly entitled to use his residence or business within the code legal. The owner is responsible for taxes and guild fees required for property upkeep, and legal transfer of this document must be witnessed by the magister of local authority, recognized by the Open Lord of Waterdeep, notarized by Colin Silmerhelve, Waterdeep Magister, and his stamp is in the corner.
That's badass.
Congrats! You're homeowners now.
And then the house.
Yay!
The house exploded. No.
Do we need to do anything while we're here to get right to do any sort of business here? Say we want to, run a business. Business licenses.
So Kylan kind of leans back in his chair and says, No. I mean, simply having the deed to the property is enough to do what you will with it. Whether it be residence or business or what have you. No additional licenses are required as long as it's legal and within the code of laws here in Waterdeep. So nothing shady, if you please. But otherwise, feel free to do with the property as you will. And of course, you'll likely be hearing from, the guilds soon. If depending on what you're wanting to do with it, and I know it's been sitting fallow for quite some time, so it probably needs a bit of work. So you might want to get in contact with some of the various guilds around the city to assist with that. The guild of plumbers, the guild of carpenters, the guild of all the various craftsmen's. I'm certain you'll be hearing from them. Word travels fast in Waterdeep. I'm sure the guild masters will stop by and say hello.
I see. Well,
Mix is gonna ask, can we hire somebody to haul off all of the debris in the home? We'll bring them out. We just need to have somebody take care of the rubbish for us.
Certainly. That can certainly be done. That would be any kind of rifles through a folder here. For that, you would probably want to reach out to the Loyal Order of Street Laborers Guild, and they would be happy to bring their carts around and help take anything away that needs to be done.
goddamn unions, random places.
Oh, thank you, kind sir.
Thank you. Well, I think we have a bit of work to do here. We should get to. What do you guys think?
Heck yeah, let's get back and get started.
I think to the market and get some mattresses and linens and cleaning supplies. And then a couple of us need to go and find this guild and have them start bringing things around. and we'll start cleaning the bedrooms first. That way we can sleep there, and definitely the Plumbers Guild. We need them.
All right. Let me... One moment here. Let me find some details. Where did I put those?
How are the kids' clothes?
Their clothes? They're all right. I mean, kind of around the hems are kind of frayed and torn, and there's a maybe a spot here or there in the pants or the shirt that maybe there's a little hole. But otherwise they're all right. They could use some work. They're dirty, quite dirty.
Children, guys, so we can quite easily purchase their loyalty. If we think that we might want them to work with us, and we accept the responsibility of housing them, we want them to look good, especially when we open a business. Perhaps we should find some clothes and shoes for these children.
Maybe let's see about getting them clothes if they decide to stay, and after they help with the massive cleanup project, assuming they
I
decide
didn't
to
plan
stay.
on letting them leave.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had the wrong guild for the rubbish. That would actually be the Dung Sweepers Guild.
Dung Sweepers Guild, I love it.
There are 44 guilds in Waterdeep for all sorts of things. I have a list of them.
You got a guild for that.
There is a guild for that.
Oh, that's incredible. Cool. All right. Well, let's get these cleaning supplies and mattresses and whatnot.
All right.
Elaborate on what you mean by not letting them leave.
Well, if it's,
Ominous.
he kind of
seems
said
pretty
that louder than
self-explanatory.
He meant to, and so he kind of just looks at Blossom and he's just like, I mean, it's somebody got to keep an eye on them. Kids shouldn't run around in a city like this. Cellar is pretty comfortable.
I highly doubt that they're gonna want to leave if we're offering them shelter, food, clothes.
Parents and homeowners all in one day. Goddamn.
We're growing up.
Ah!
Not slavers, right, Boo?
We'll pay them.
He shrugs. You can't own a person. You can bind them, though. And point at my little fiend.
God.
And on that note, let's go to the market.
Okay. So you guys make your
I
way.
will ask these dung sweepers. Just
You're
I
asking.
can trust that y'all will get me a mattress. I'll pay you back for it.
I'll get you a mattress mix. No problem. You're gonna go
No.
arrange for some dung sweepers, and I'm getting you a mattress.
Jinku or Zaya or Blossom can pick out my mattress and sheets. I don't trust you, so I will go talk to the dung sweepers.
All right. Did you ask the magistrate where the Dung Sweepers Guild was before you left? I assume.
But of course.
Yeah.
Okay. The Dung Sweepers Guild is located, or they are headquartered out of Mule Skull Tavern in the southwestern or the southern part of the Dock Ward, down on Ship Street. This would be in the southwest map. Let me. I don't think I have a pin for that
I
yet.
have them all up.
Okay. I'll make a pin for it real quick here. 1 second. Mule Skull Tavern. This is located in the Dock Ward. Dung Sweepers Guild. And see, that was in the southwest map. Southwest players. There we go. I gotta find the street. Oh, no, it is on the south. That is in an awkward spot. Why am I not finding this? Oh, there it is. Found it. Sorry about that. Mule Skull Tavern is right there. So on the southeast, Waterdeep southeast map, on kind of the near the middle of the map, if you see where the old Zoblob shop and the Skewered Dragon are, it's straight west of there. There's the Mule Skull Tavern, Dung Sweepers. And I think with that, as you guys are preparing to do some work on this place, this would be a good spot for us all to level up to 2.
Yay.
Oh, nice. Okay. Woot.
So we'll call that good for that part for now, and let's take a little time and everybody can get themselves leveled up to 2 and do that. Riz, I know you haven't done this part in Fantasy Grounds before, so it's pretty simple actually. What you're going to want to do is you'll want to open up your character sheet, and then if you go to click the library button in the bottom right, and in the thing that shows up, click Create PC in the top right, which will change your buttons on the right hand side. And you should see classes now on the right.
Where?
The big bookmarks on your right hand side of your screen.
Classes was always there.
Oh, you never changed off of that. Okay. So click on classes. And do you remember what kind of cleric were you?
I think we just chose the basic one.
You just did the basic cleric? Okay.
This is a trickster. Cleric.
Oh, that's right. I think that's... Yeah, trickery. Well, trickery is in the player's handbook. It's not like an extra one. So what you're going to want to do is, scrolling through those classes, you should see the one that says Cleric D&D Player's Handbook.
Yeah.
So click and drag the little shield and drop it onto where it says Cleric 1 in your player sheet. And it should give you some things automatically. And I don't think yeah, you don't choose your school or anything until 3rd, so or that stuff. What did it add for you there?
Hit points and channel divinity and invoke duplicity.
Okay, so it should have added those, I think. Yeah, those are in your abilities tab now. So you can click on those in there to see what that does. And then if you have any, extra spells slot or any spells that you are able to know now, feel free to look through and add those in. It should be, let me see. Probably you'll probably like know or be able to prepare like one more spell, I think. Let me check.
Yeah, it jumped from 2 to 3 for spell slots.
Well, slots aren't your known.
Oh.
Slots are your cast. Slots are your mana. So you have 3 casts of higher level spells. Spell casting. So you still know 3 cantrips, so that doesn't change. And your spell casting. Your wisdom modifier plus your cleric level. So you can now prepare 6 spells. So you had 4 before. Now you can do 6. And I think they're all still level 1. Yeah. So you can prepare 6 level 1 cleric spells.
Okay.
So that's really the only thing you got to do at this point is just pick what you want for those. Anybody else have any questions or get anything interesting on your level up?
I got action surge.
Which one's that one? I don't think I've had a character that had that before.
So it says you can push yourself beyond your normal limits for a moment. On your turn, you can take an additional action on top of your regular action and a possible bonus action.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's cool.
That's neat. Looks like I get I guess like this reaction where I can add a +2 bonus to AC or saving throw. Like if I get hit, I can use the reaction to do like an arcane deflection, add a +2 to my AC, and then see if that still hits or not. And then like this what is it, tactical what? I just get like I'm better at initiative, I get. That wasn't the thing I was thinking of. There's another thing I get later on that's kinda cool, but
I get Eldritch and another spell, basically.
nice. Now I gotta pick 2 more spells.
Nice.
So I was reading
Yeah.
about spell books and wizards.
Oh yeah, since you got that spell book, yeah. What do you do with that, or how does that work?
So there's 2 things I can do with that. I mean, eventually it would make sense to have 1 spell book, right? And
Mm-hmm.
preferably a backup somewhere, along with like a finger or a toe for resurrection and phylactery purposes. But it looks like it's largely the GM call as to whether or not a wizard can have like 2 spell books that contain different spells. In theory, I could copy all of those over. I will have to pay for that for
Mm-hmm.
each spell. But because it's a spell book, in theory, I could just carry it around with me too and prepare those spells. It's up to you.
Okay.
And either way is completely reasonable to me, I think. I don't really, however you want that.
Um, I think for now I'd say you can just carry it around because with this manor, you guys are going to have expenses at the wazoo right now, to get this place fixed. Um, so yeah, I'd say if you just carry it around with you, you can just use it as a reference to prepare from. If you choose to prepare spells from it, it's fine.
Nice, because Unseen Servant will be very useful to help us clean.
What does that do?
It just gives you like this shapeless medium size thing. It's invisible
Mm-hmm.
and it just does simple stuff for you. It's a level 1 spell, and they'll last for an hour and just kind of do simple tasks.
Okay.
I think you guys have seen one before seen some before in Storm Kings, I think was where I had some doing some work in an inn. If you see like mops and stuff just moving around, or like, brooms moving across the floor, a lot of times it's not.
Oh yeah, you did that at the creepy dude at Nonard's hold, the innkeeper or
Oh,
whatever.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
So I got reckless attack.
Interesting. What's out?
Starting at 2nd level, you can throw aside all concern for defense to attack with fierce desperation. When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls using strength during your turn. But attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn.
Okay.
Also, there's a spelling error in this card.
No. Well, I know that is. I think that's from. And yours was a Unearthed Arcana one, so I'm sure it's not quite as refined. Neat.
And
That's
then
cool.
I got Danger Sense.
Just kind of like a detect evil type thing, or.
Basically, I have advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see, such as traps and spells. But to gain this benefit, I cannot be blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Interesting. Okay. That's cool.
The fun stuff doesn't start till next level.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes for most stuff. 3rd levels when things get interesting. What do you get, Mix? With your divine stuff.
Well, I get another healing die. I really don't get much more until level 3, except these 2 Eldritch Invocations, which I have to pick 2 of them. They're pretty potent.
What are
Like, I
those?
can make my Eldritch. There's about 15 different ones that I can pick. Like, there's one called Pack of the Chain feature, where I can speak telepathically with your familiar and perceive through your familiar senses as long as you're on the same plane of existence, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna pick that, that sucks. But Bane, I can cast Bane without using a spell slot once.
No, that's nice.
Between long rests. So if I pick Bane as my spell, I'll probably pick that. Then there's Devil's Sight, I can see 120 feet in the dark.
Damn.
And then Eldritch Blast has 2. I can either push people 10 feet away when I hit them with Eldritch Blast, or I can add my Charisma modifier. Oh, there's 3. I can make my Eldritch Blast 300-foot range.
Holy shit. Sniper Eldritch Blast. Goddamn.
Or I can pick Agonizing Blast, where I add my Charisma modifier to the damage it deals.
Wow. That's pretty slow. All those are pretty sweet.
I'm thinking of picking the extra damage or the range. I just don't know what.
Yeah, both of those would be good. What's its range normally is what, like 120 or
120? Yeah, I'm gonna pick the damage. So I'm gonna add my Charisma modifier to Eldritch Blast.
Nice. That'll be nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, 120 is already pretty nice for range. You don't really get too many times where stuff's out of that. Damn, that's cool.
Crap, clicked along.
I gotta add my intelligence modifier to my initiative rolls.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
So my nit's +7. So that's not bad.
That is, yeah, that's really good.
Means I can run away from everything first.
Right. All right. Well, sounds like we got everybody all leveled up. Sweet.
I can't figure out how to add. I think I'm gonna do Devil's Sight because every level I can change these. It's gonna allow me to see basically 120 feet in the dark.
Okay.
Because I don't have night vision, so I think.
Okay, cool. That's neat that you can like swap those out every level. That's interesting. Is that like a racial thing or a class thing that you're able to add those? I guess it'd be a class
when
thing.
you gain certain when you gain certain warlock levels, you gain additional invocations of your choice, as shown in the invocations, yada yada yada.
Oh, okay.
Additionally, when you gain a level in this class, you can choose one of the invocations you know and replace it with another invocation that you could learn at that level. So as I level up, I'll probably switch them around. But I don't know how to add dark vision to my character sheet.
Should be able to find it in here. 1 second.
Well, it's just on the main tab. You just you should be able to click there and edit it. Yeah.
I know under senses.
Yeah, it's right under senses on that line. That's you just put dark vision and then the number of feet.
Oh, yeah, that works just fine. Sweet. All right. Sounds like we got everything all put together, and you guys got your house, and you got your kids, and
We do not have the kids yet. They have not agreed to stay.
true.
We're living the Waterdeep dream.
Duh. Now we get into the meaty bits of home improvement. All right. Well, we'll call that good for now. And I'll turn off the stream here. See you guys. Thanks to y'all for coming here to the stream.
Good one.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
That was a good one, man.